Alright, so what I want to do is I want to look at a probability distribution. We're going to use our technology to help us advance where we were. So we're going to look at the passive-aggressive data that we looked at before. And so this was our random discrete variable and the probability of each random variable. So we had 1 with a probability of 0.16. We had 2 with a probability of 0.22. We had 3 with a probability of 0.28. We had 4 with a probability of 0.20. And we had 5 with a probability of 0.14. And so this was our probability distribution. Now we had said our mean was the sum of all the random variables times their individual probabilities, and that the standard deviation was the sum of the deviances squared times the probabilities. Right? We made a chart to do this, and it got to be a messy chart. I was scrolling up and down on it. What I want to do is show you how to do this with our TI-84s here. So I'm going to open my brick of a TI-84 here, and I'm going to come into it. So let's see here. Let's turn it on, and we'll go into stat. And so I'm going to go to stat and edit, and I'm going to create two lists. My first list is going to contain the random variables. So notice I have each of my x values for my discrete random variables. And then list 2, I'm going to put in the probability. And so now these lists are the same length. I have my random discrete variables here, and I have the probabilities in list 2. So I'm going to go back to stat. I'm going to calculate. I'm going to do one var stats. And my list is going to be L1, but I'm going to call the probabilities my frequency list. So I'm going to put in L2 for the frequency list. And then I'm going to calculate. Notice I get the mean 2.94. That was the same mean that I had. And then I have a standard deviation of 1.27. Remember, the standard deviation is the square root of the variance. So if you want to find the variance, you square this 1.27. I tend not to talk in variances. I tend to talk in standard deviations. It's just the nature of my particular science training. But here we've used our TI-84 to work with our discrete probability distribution, and we've been able to get the mean and the standard deviation using frequency lists.